Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to episode 290 of the 4,000 question challenge. Just seeing if Mandarin was here. If you could have a different point of view, how would you like to see the world? I like to experience. I wouldn't necessarily want to be trapped in that, but if I could step into someone else's shoes, I would genuinely and legitimately like to know what it's like to be a woman in the world. Um, what What would be the advantages and disadvantages of one language for the whole world? Well, smooth communication and a credible loss of cultural and social heritage. So there you go. Um, Home HIV tests, a good or a bad idea? A good idea? How could that be a bad idea? Wow, that's a weird question. And out of left field, why is it in politics? I don't know. Um, does state-sponsored gambling really create jobs and stimulate local economy? I'm sure it creates jobs. I don't know if it truly stimulates the local economy, because the problem is that the people that do a lot of do the bulk of the gambling are people who can afford to lose the money least. So yes, you're putting some people to work and you are benefiting some people from the economic treadmill of the whole gambling process. But you're also causing a lot of people who are already not necessarily doing too well for themselves to do worse. Yeah. What do you think about using tax money to support private schools? Hell no, hell no, hell no. Not a penny to private schools or charter schools. Period. You want to send your kid to a private school, to a charter school? Go for it. Not a penny of tax dollars should be used for it. Not one. Particularly as there is zero evidence that charter schools, for example, do any better than public schools, except they sap money away from public schools that are already desperately underfunded thanks to the GOP. Where should funding of the arts come from? The public trust. What gives you the best value for your tax dollar? Military defense, police, public broadcasting, public schools, or blank. I'm going to go with public schools. Um, Military defense is the least of those. What should be the energy resources of the future? I'd like renewables to be far more prevalent. Solar, wind, uh, geothermal, wave. Um, and I think with those combined together, we would be able to cover all of our energy needs, particularly as the solar energy process is getting more efficient and less expensive. And if we could cover just a small fraction of the available space out there that is up for grabs, and make it small enough, low cost enough, so everyone could have a unit on their roofs, we could change the world forever. What is your first impression of an underage pregnant woman? I feel really bad for the person because it's very probable that woman did not choose. Well, actually, technically, if they're underage, they're not a woman. They're a minor, and I feel bad for them. And I would like to have their rapists thrown in prison because if they're underage, if they're below the age of consent, they were raped. So throw the person in prison that did it and give them all the resources in the world they need to have a healthy pregnancy and then be the best parent they could possibly want to be if they choose to be a parent. Um, and lastly, who was the most important role model in your life? My Uncle George is pretty important. He unfortunately wasn't here for long. He died when I was 19. Uncle Steve was pretty good, but he ended up being a bit of a shit stain because he cheated on his wife and left her. Um, Haven't had a lot of great role models. Really haven't. All right. Thank you for being here for episode 290 of the 4,000 Question Challenge. I hope that you will be here for episode 291.